Hello, welcome to the second episode of the Chatterbooks. Each episode we'll chat about the latest books we've been reading, as well as sharing some old favourites or underappreciated gems that you might have missed. Hello, I am Max.
I'm James.
And I'm George.
Our main book this week is Wild Boy by Rob Lloyd Jones. It's a book we've actually been reading in class. In Victoria, England, a boy called Wild Boy is somewhat rescued from an orphanage where he is taken away and forced to be a part of a freak show. He gets his name because of his bright orange hair that covers his entire body like a wild animal. Wild Boy longs to get away from his freak show, as every day he performs the same act where he gets laughed at and humiliated. If you think it's scary, it's more of a murder mystery book. In fact, it reminds me of Sherlock Holmes. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Like when Wild Boy has to try and clear his name to solve the mystery.
Yeah, I found it really exciting and it's really dramatic and fun and scary.
I think my favourite part was when Wild Boy tried to find out some clues in one of the murder victims' home. He then started a house fire and had to try and escape with some of the clues.
Yeah, I like that bit too. It was really tense and even a bit gruesome.
I didn't like picturing the fair because I've pictured mud and poo on the ground next to the stalls, and there was like no grass, or at least bits of grass, and it was so gross in my mind. And all the streets were the same as that. Literally.
Yeah, the descriptions were really good and vivid. Even right from the start, it hooks you in with a vivid description of Victorian London.
Yeah, it definitely left a detailed picture in my mind. I would definitely recommend it to some strong readers who also like some tense moments.
I'd recommend it to people who like murder mysteries and stuff like that.
I'd recommend it to same as James, but also those people who want some fun in their life with the reading of this book.
And that was Wild Boy by Rob Lloyd Jones. Before we move on, Libby's back to talk to her teacher about their favourite book.
Hi, I'm Libby and I'll be interviewing my Year 6 teacher, Miss Cotton. Which book do you most like reading to your class?
The book that I most like to read to my class is a book called The Haunting of Aveline Jones by Phil Hicks.
Could you tell me about that book?
It's a book about a girl called Aveline who goes to stay with her aunt in a strange, quiet town, and lots of strange, spooky things happen. It's a bit of a ghost story.
Why is this one of your favourite books to read to your class?
This is one of my favourite books to read to my class because it keeps everyone on the edge of their seats. There's a lot of moments in the book that are really shocking, and you're even trembling as you're reading it out loud. It's really spooky and gets everyone hooked.
Who do you think might like it?
I think anyone in Year 5 or Year 6 who likes spooky stories would love this book.
And finally, are you a bookmark reader or a turn over the corner of the page reader?
Don't judge me, but I am a turn the corner of the page reader.
Thank you very much. Back to the Chatterbooks.
Thanks, Libby and Miss Cotton. Let's move on to our next book.
My book that I'm going to be talking about is Who Let the Gods Out by Maz Evans. This book is about a young mortal boy called Elliot Hooper, who lives with his mum on home farm.
What did you enjoy about it?
I enjoyed the part where immortals came to help Elliot's life at home farm.
And why did they come and help?
His mum suffers a rare condition of forgetfulness.
That sounds like Max.
Hey, I'm not that forgetful. Anyway, What types of things was she forgetting?
She was forgetting who she was and to water the plants and even her own son.
Is it part of a series or is it just a one book?
She made a set of 4 books and a set of 2 with different characters.
Oh, have you read them all?
I'm now on to the 3rd book of Who Let the Gods Out.
Do you have a favourite one so far?
Definitely the first one.
What do you like the most about it?
When all the gods come down and try to help, but just make things even more complicated.
How did they make it complicated?
By doing all sorts of weird things with their powers.
And might I ask, what are those powers that they have?
Well, it's all the Greek gods. So Zeus, Hermes, Aphrodite, Athene.
What's your favourite god?
Definitely Hermes. He's super funny.
What's his power?
His power is the messenger god, so he delivers messages to people.
Does he get messages wrong, and is that how he's funny?
Well, he has this car which he always gets confiscated because he drives too fast.
But he's a Greek god, they didn't use cars back then.
They have roads underneath, but mortal roads.
And finally, can I sing Who Let the Dogs Out, but Who Let the Gods Out? Who let the gods out? Who let the gods out?
As you are listening to this, hopefully you know that you can subscribe to the Chatterbooks podcast for free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and most podcast hosts. And on YouTube, you can find all the links to our website, thechatterbooks.co.uk, where you can also find the past episodes. You can also get in touch to tell us about the books you've liked and maybe ones you'd like us to chat about. You can email the chatterbookspodcast@gmail.com. Please ask an adult for permission.
Like my friend's book, James, my book is imaginary. It doesn't have gods in it, and it's Creakers by Tom Fletcher.
I used to love loads of his books.
Yeah, he wrote the Crisposaurus, if any of you might have read it.
Yeah, that was my childhood.
I've never read it, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be good. Anyway, back to the Creakers. If any of you haven't read it, it's about this girl who lives with his mum. After she went to bed, she woke up not with her mum there, and her dad wasn't there either. And all the kids in her neighbourhood and in the town had their parents missing, and they were all celebrating, but then they all realised that they need their parents, so the main girl, her and her 2 friends, they go and try and find their parents.
What's the girl's name?
I forgot.
I thought you said I was forgetful.
No, it's true. I forget things almost instantly. It runs in my family. Well, I mean, at least I think it does.
What books can you compare it to?
Actually, it could be compared to David Walliams' books because Tom Fletcher writes a few things that are really funny in it.
Thanks, George. Now I'm going to finish with some quick recommendations, like the Alex Rider series, which starts with Stormbreaker, or the famous 5 series, or even The Dog Who Saved the World. I also read these next 2 books at school, like Wonderscape and a book called Aberrations.
Thank you so much for joining us, Chatterbooks, to chat about books. Remember, you can find all about us at thechatterbooks.co.uk. It's bye from me, James.
Bye from me, George.
And it's bye from me, Max.
Bye.